Dear student, today we will discuss about material balance involving multiple reactions. For this, we will study elemental balance and component balance, and other one is compound balance, which involve which will involve the uh, chemical compound. And after that, we will discuss single unit material balance. And after that, we will discuss two unit material balance. And at the end, we will discuss total plant material balance. So let's start from material balance for reactive system, in which any reaction takes place. Usually, you can say that a chemical change takes place. For example, a fertilizer plant, which are making the producing the fertilizers, and all the reactive process in which the chemical reactions is taking place. So material balance for reactive system requires the balanced chemical equation, which is the main first fundamental thing. When you start the material balance, your equation must be balanced. Stoichiometric equation must be balanced. Otherwise, you cannot start material balance. So what is balanced chemical equation? An equation which have balanced stoichiometric coefficients. Let I have an example. Let's suppose C plus oxygen, carbon and oxygen react with each other and form carbon dioxide. So in this equation, carbon has one stoichiometric coefficient in the reactant and it has one stoichiometric coefficient in the product. Similarly, for oxygen, it has one stoichiometric coefficient in the reactant and also one stoichiometric coefficient in the product. 1 mole of carbon react with 1 mole of oxygen molecules and produce 1 mole of carbon dioxide. So this is balanced chemical equation. Without balanced chemical equation, you cannot start material balance. Otherwise, you will find many difficulties for this material balance. So let's start for single pass material balance, single pass conversion, and overall pass conversion. And after that, recycle and bypass concept when your reactant are going to convert in the products. So what is conversion, which is the mostly fundamental concept to start any material balance. Conversion actually is to the how much fraction of your reactant has been converted into product, how much your reactant has converted into product, how many moles of reactant are transformed into product. So and for reactive system, we can say that conversion is actually a pass. If your reactant goes through one pass in the reactor, you say that it is single pass conversion. If your reactant go from one pass to another pass, from one reactor to another reactor, then it will be two pass conversion. We say that if there are only two reactors, then it will be overall conversion also. So single pass conversion and overall pass conversion, you can remember it that single pass conversion is actually is used for one process unit. As we have, being a chemical engineer, we have already studied that process unit means when you are when there is chemical change, when there is taking place a chemical change, when there is when there is chemical reaction is occurring. So a reactor is the best example for the chemical change for the chemical process unit. So single pass conversion means pass means one entry. Your reactant will enter into the reactor and will form the products. But for overall conversion, your reactant will go how much reactors are in the plant. They may be two, they may be three, or they may be more than three. So overall pass conversion is used for all the process units. Process units, I have already mentioned you that it means how many reactors are taking place because our chemical change. will happen in the reactor. So for reactive process, you have to keep some important terms in your mind. For non-reactive process, it was clear that there will be no generation terms, there will be no production term, no materials are generated within the system. There is no concept of production of the materials because in for non-reactive system there was no reaction in the plant. But for reactive system, as your reactant are going to transform to products, so there will be material generation. You can say it, you are producing some products, and there will also be some material consumption from the feed. You as your feeding section contains some masses or some concentration, they will go in decline from with the passage of time. And there will also be a accumulation term because when your reactant product from products, these products maybe are in the form of solids, semi-solids, or in liquids, so they cannot easily flow from one stream to another streams. So there will be, of course, an accumulation term. Sometimes these materials may accumulate with the walls of the reactors. Sometimes the materials will stick with the stirrer of the reacting system. Sometimes these materials will deposit on the inside walls of the your container or vessel. So material balance for reactive system, the general mass balance equation will be the same as for the non-reactive system. Material in within your system, first you have to define a system for the specific task on which you are going to apply material balance. How much material is going into your system and how much material is going out from your system, and how much material is generating within the system or producing within the system, and how much material is consuming from the feeding section, that will becomes equal to your accumulation, how much material has been accumulated. So but for steady state system in which there is no change in the variables, process variables like temperature, pressure and volume, we can put accumulation terms equal to 0. So our material in within the system minus material out, you have to subtract material out from the system, and you have to add the terms material generated, because when something is generated within the system, it is building up in the system, it is increasing the mass, increasing the concentration within the system. So you have to put this in class. And when something is consuming from the system, it is reducing in concentration, so you have to put this in negative. So stoichiometric equation for the reaction imposes constraints. Stoichiometric equation always will follow the balanced chemical equation, balanced chemical stoichiometric equations. So it imposes some constraints on the relative amounts of reactants and products. If your equation is not balanced, is not in exactly relative stoichiometric coefficient ratios, then there you cannot apply the material balance exactly correctly. So this is a very important table that will help. If I say that if you have to study the complete material balance for reactive system or non-reactive system on any chemical plant or physical plant, then you have to keep all these points in your mind before proceeding to equations. So what quantities must be conserved, what must be constant during any chemical reaction process? So first of all, you have to apply the mass balance, because for reactive system and for non-reactive system, mass balance remains the conserved. But for total, when we talk about total moles balance, for reactive system, moles balance can never be equal to each other, but masses will be equal to each other. But for non-reactive system, moles balance will be always conserved. Moles when entering within the system will be equal to the moles leaving from the system. And similarly for the chemical compound, when you apply the mass balance for chemical compound, it will be same for the non-reactive system, but it will not be conserved for reactive system, because when we talk about compound, chemical compound, when our reactant compound is converted into product compound, then there may be some accumulation terms and there may be some generation terms within the system that may may be loss that will not balance the input mass is equal to output mass. So for when we talk about the moles of a chemical compound, so for non-reactive system, moles will be conserved. They will be equal. Moles entering within the system will be equal to the moles out from the system, because there is no generation term within the system. There is no consumption term within the system. But for reactive system, they will never be equal to each other, because for reactive system there may come some generation terms, some accumulation terms, some other terms which we have to consider. But one of two there are two things which are always conserved for atomic species. First one is mass balance. We have to always prefer mass balance when we are doing the chemical engineering plant calculations for reactive system or non-reactive system with when we are calculating the balance, mass balance. And there's also a Mohs balance.